Good morning.
Good morning, Maxine.
Good morning, Trish.
You look bright today.
Oh, yes. I am bright today.
There's nothing in that cup.
No. I thought there was. All right, I'll go get something. Ugh.
Now you got your coffee? Good morning.
Good morning, Trish. Mm-mm-mm. You know, I'm wondering, is it just me? Because I'm getting old, you know how like when people get old, they're like, oh, I remember when I paid 25 cents for a loaf of bread and now, it's 50 cents. I'm like that all the time now. I don't know if it's me. It's only since COVID, when COVID ended, it's like, I'm like, a jar of spaghetti sauce is $10.
What kind of spaghetti sauce are you getting?
It's called Carbona.
And I always make my own, so
Oh, well, I may have to start learning how to do that because I was like $10. And then my toilet paper went up from, it was originally $4.75 when I started buying it a couple of years ago. It's $12.
Yep. What did minimum wage do where you are?
I don't really know. I think $15.
Okay. So that's probably part of it because the minimum wage went up and they have to increase all the prices to pay it.
I thought it was more that everybody lost so much money during COVID that when COVID was over, they were trying to make up for it.
Nope.
I don't know.
No, people decided not to work, so they can't get employees, so they have to pay them more. And so now they have to.
You see, I thought it's just the opposite. Everybody was looking for work. It's
they weren't.
Really hard to get a job.
Oh, no. COVID was the easiest time to get a job because all these younger people decided they'd stay home because they were already living with mom and dad. So they didn't work.
Yeah.
A lot of people were doing remote, but no. I mean, I know so many people that they stopped working and partly not because they wanted to, but the company, either shut down or did stuff and they discovered I don't need as much money as I thought I did because it's expensive to work.
Yeah.
You got to do your car, you got to do your clothes, you got to pay for childcare.
Yeah, everything went remote. But still, my business died.
Yeah. So we could not find employees.
And I couldn't
to this day.
Even in retail, it was hard. I mean, they said they were hiring, but then if you spoke to somebody, they'd say, no, they're not hiring now.
Really?
Yeah. And they didn't see me. So,
so they weren't doing the age. They weren't doing the age discrimination. It wasn't. I know construction can't find any skilled labor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's because they sent all the kids to college. So now we've got nobody left to build our houses. But they make more. Well, they make more than the guys that come out of college. Way more.
Yeah. And it depends on what they go to college for. I mean, if they go to college for, something realistic, but you have so many kids going to college for 4 years and studying Roman architecture or something, something.
Even if you make good money, you have to subtract out of your income your, $200,000 in school loans. So really, it takes you a while to catch up.
Yeah.
It takes you a long time to catch up. And it's when you need the money, when you're having kids. Yeah,
that was the one thing I always said that I would do is get Jordan through college without him being saddled down with loans.
Good mom.
Well, I'm glad that I was able to do it.
Yeah.
So, he came right out of college and he didn't have to worry about paying.
We had one daughter that wanted to be a pipe fitter. She stuff in the school had a welding program. She went to it. She's very artistic, so she thought I can make stuff. She did. She made some really cool stuff. And then she came to live with us after she got a little older. And the guy we were renting a room from us was part of the union. And so, yeah, she went through that. The whole thing is free. I think it was 4 years. And she was making money during that time, too. It wasn't like the guys that go into college, generally, they have no income.
Yeah.
She was being paid to learn the job.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and then she got out and, they're left and right wanting them, and they make, I don't remember how much an hour she was making, but it was more than me.
I was engaged to an artist. He was a sculptor, and he did these humongous sculptures out of mirror stainless steel. They were gorgeous, but it was all welding.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used to watch him, and I mean, he had like 7 guys that worked for him, helping. These things were huge. But that was a funny time. He was a funny guy.
Artists are always funny.
Yeah, he got to the point of it was ridiculous. I mean, once we got engaged, everything changed. He would wake up in the middle of the night and wake me up and start yelling that I was cheating on him. And he was just coming up with these things. Yeah, it was bad.
What was a good sign that you were next to him and not cheating on him when he woke you up?
Well, he would be like, 3 months ago when you went to Miami with your girlfriend, you were cheating on me, weren't you? I'm like, really? It was ridiculous, but it was also an excuse for him never to leave my side. So he used to follow me to the bathroom. I mean,
like literally?
Literally, he would. I worked at his shop, and I worked in the office. And he would literally lock me in the office. I was supposed to take care of when the customers came.
Right.
And he would lock the front door from the inside.
Wow.
So that I couldn't get out.
Huh.
Yeah, that was because one day.
That's your sign.
It was a sign. It was a sign. One day, our copier didn't work. So I went to the building next door, which was, I don't know what kind of a shop it was, but I asked him if I could use their copier. And so I was here for maybe 10 minutes. I came outside, and the guy I was engaged to was outside on the street with all the guys who worked for him looking for me, like somebody stole me. I'm like, what is going on? He's like, where were you? We were looking all over for you.
Wow.
Like, I was gone for 10 minutes.
Wow.
I know.
I mean, my husband likes to have me by his side because he enjoys my presence, and I don't know why I'm annoying. Yeah, I mean, we even work together. We'd go from job to job and work in the same company. But if he locked me in the room,
yeah, it was bad.
no.
He also got sick. Something happened. We took him to the hospital, and I don't really know what it was, but he said, because I talked to the doctor, and what doctor said and what he said were 2 different things. He told me he had a heart attack. He told me he had a stroke, and that the doctor told him that if I don't just agree with everything he says and do what he says, that I will be killing him, that he will have a heart attack and die, and it will be me, and I will be a murderer.
Wow.
Yeah. So it got intense.
Why did you stay?
Well, it didn't last much longer after that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, we had such a good time and such a great relationship before we got engaged.
Oh, engagement changes. I don't engagement and marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, changes. That's when you start really seeing them.
Yeah. They might be really
Or
lovey
they
until
see
then.
me.
You get some
What?
that you get some that kind of, they're there, they enjoy your company and
Yeah.
then when you get married, they want to be with you every second. They don't want you out of
Yeah,
sight. And you get the opposite that they want to be with you every second and then they want to have nothing to do with you.
exactly. Well, he just, yeah, I don't know what the problem was with him, but um he gave me this was funny, like I didn't even know that we were getting engaged. So it was on a Sunday, and he said he had to stop at his show, at his place for something,
Uh-huh.
and the shop, and we were with Jordan. So we went to the shop and we're waiting there, and this man shows up, and it was somebody that he knew. I
Mhm.
knew him also from him, and he shows up, and he says, uh, "Do you want to go in the other room and do this?" So my boyfriend's sitting there, and he goes, "No, just give it to her." And he goes, "What?" And he says, "No, just give it to her." So he goes, "Okay." And he comes over to me and he hands me a box with a ring in it. It was like this big. It was huge. It went from my knuckle to my knuckle, the diamond.
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, thanks." You know?
You didn't know you were getting engaged?
No.
Just kidding.
And at that point, I didn't know who I was getting engaged to. I was like, but really, that's what I just went, "Oh, thanks."
So you didn't say, yeah. When did you figure out you were engaged?
When the guy left, I was like, "Really? What is this?" So he never actually, said the
Proposed.
words, "Will you marry me?" The guy, when he gave it to me, he said, "Well, you want to say something?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll take it." So
Oh.
I know I would have been better off with the guy who gave me the ring. He was married though, but
Oh. How do you find these guys?
usually by accident.
I just got a Google alert. I have a Google alert for my last name. It's not my maiden name. It's not I mean it's pretty unique. And came up and I'm like, it's someone I don't know with the same last name.
Really?
Yeah.
My mother's name was Zeraline, Zeraline. And my mother was like, her mother had like 9 kids, so I guess they ran out of names. So her mother just, I guess, made that name up. So my mother was like, "There's never been another Zeraline. I have never heard of another Zeraline." We're watching television one day, and there's a Black woman who comes on, and they ask her name, and she says Zeraline. And they go, "Zeraline, that's interesting. What's your last name?" And she goes, "Zeraline." So they go, "Your last name is Zeraline." She goes, "My first name and my last name are Zeraline." So her name was Zeraline.
Oh, that's
So my
weird.
mother's like, "I have to call them up. I have to get her phone number. I have to call her up." I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "It's the only other Zeraline I've ever heard of." I'm like, "So, so what?" I mean, really, so what?
Yep. Yeah.
So you were saddled with this ridiculous name that's not
Yeah.
even a name. And then you have a child and you name me Maxine. You know, you name me Barbara or Susan or, you know, what other people were calling their kids.
Yep. Yeah.
But then I was working with this guy and I happened to be talking to him, and he was from New Jersey, the same area that I was from.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, that's funny." And he said, "Yeah, you know, my mother," and he's talking about his mother, and his mother's name is Maxine. And it turns out that the parents were from the same place my parents were from, which was Newark, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out they went to high school together. And it turns out that's how I got my name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my mother never heard the name before until she met this girl.
Uh-huh.
And the girl's name is Maxine, and my mother remembered that, liked it, and used it. So I was like, oh my God, what a coincidence. This is so amazing that you went to high school with his mother.
Yeah.
So, because I was here in Florida. So
Right.
I was like, you know, my mother's like, we should go over there. And I'm like, yeah, we should go to his parents' house. And, you know, I didn't even think about it. And we jumped in the car and we go and we knock on the door. I don't really know his parents. And his mother answers the door. And I go, you're not going to believe this. My mother and father, you know, who were standing right there, you went to high school with them. And she was like, those were the worst years of my life. I don't like to think about that. And then I'm just standing there. Like, and she was going to close the door. And the husband came and he said, you know, he said, come in.
Uh-huh.
So it was very awkward until we went inside. But it so happened that he had a high school yearbook, and my uncles had all signed the yearbook.
Wow.
So my father was looking through the yearbook, and it was all people that he knew, and you know, his brothers and all kinds of stuff. So, but yeah, that was awkward. That
Right. Right. Well, I want to do a scam thing.
good one. That's a
Okay.
good one.
Yeah. So I was yeah, I was just reading about the cousin that died. Well, no, actually, hold on. I was just reading about the obituary that had a cousin's name in it. Wasn't a cousin who
Yeah.
passed, but her name was mentioned in it. It reminded me of one of the Facebook scams that I don't know if you've heard about yet.
No.
It's you know how you get tagged? You don't know what tagging is, huh? On
No.
Facebook. Well,
Yeah.
there'll be a picture of there'll be something with you, and they will write your name, and it'll link to you, and so it'll appear on your page.
Okay.
Okay, so they'll put something like a video with a car accident and saying, "I can't believe they're gone."
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah. So they'll do, I can't believe they're gone. And they'll post it on your page so your friends think you passed in a car accident.
Oh.
Yeah. And so then you being curious, I mean, if you saw it on my page, you'd immediately click that video, which will either put a virus on your computer or it'll have
Oh,
you
yeah.
or it'll have you log in and it will get your user information and it'll do all it's crazy.
Yeah. Listen, everybody, don't click on anything.
Well, that one's a hard one not to click on. I can see people getting that one. Call them.
But you
call
don't.
them.
You don't
Call
even
them.
have to call them. Just look it up.
Oh, no, that's true. That's true.
Never click on something that starts with "you are never going to believe what happened to," and then you have to click on it to find out. Or they do it with like actors and actresses. They'll say, we were all shocked when we heard that Julia Roberts, and then and then you have to click on it to find out. Yeah, don't ever click.
And
go out and Google it.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if we've done this with your Facebook page. I have to look, because you need to lock it down. Like when someone tags me in Facebook, I have to approve it. It will not post until I approve it. And you want to do that because people can come in and
see it on your. Do you see it on your Facebook?
I see a notification saying that somebody wants to post something.
I don't get that.
Yeah, well, we need to do that. I need to I will actually post a link in the bottom of this video on how to lock down your Facebook page.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, because what people do is
that's a very good thing. That's very good information to give people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be the ridiculous person, and you'll be the person who tells them good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I just tell them ridiculous things. Yes. Just saying.
I think it's time to go and lock down your Facebook page a little bit better.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Maxine.